My name is Thebarge, and I wrote a book called The Invisible Girls. The book is a memoir, and it weaves my story of having breast cancer in my 20s together with the story of a Somali refugee that I met here in Portland, Oregon. When I was 27 years old, I was living in Connecticut, and everything was going really, really well. Then all of a sudden, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and my whole life fell apart. A month later, I walked out of the hospital, and I got a one-way ticket to Portland, Oregon, and tried to start over. I'd been in Portland, Oregon for a little while, and one afternoon I was on the MAX, which is the light rail train here in Portland, and I see that this Somali mom, got on the train with her two little girls who were ages 3 and 4. She said that she and her husband had come over from Somalia as refugees. Dad had been abusive and had left them shortly after she got here, and so now it's just her by herself in a foreign country. She doesn't speak the language, she doesn't have a job, she doesn't have any money. And I was concerned about them, and so I asked the mom for their address, and she showed it to me, and I copied it down. The 4-year-old little girl comes over to me, and then she opens her hand, and I see that she's got these two little dice in her hand. And then she puts them in my hand, she closes my fingers around it, and then at the next stop, her mom wakes up suddenly, and they just sweep off the train. And I realize as the train's pulling away that I still have her dice tucked in the palm of my hand. I've got their address in one hand, I've got these two dice from Lilo in the other hand, and I'm debating whether or not I should go. There's the golden rule, which is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if I was a mom in Somalia and I had 5 little girls and I didn't speak the language and I was overwhelmed, I'd want her to help me. They let me in and they started giving me a tour of their place, and it was a completely empty apartment. They had no furniture, and I find out that they've run out of food and the mom has no money. The little 4-year-old girl hugs my leg and she says, "When you come back, can you bring us food?" These little girls didn't care how broken I was. They hugged me and climbed on me and kissed me and laughed with me. And as I got to know this family, there were all of these funny stories that kept happening as I watched them experience life in America for the first time. And so I decided I was going to write a blog about them. I called it The Invisible Girls because the day that I met them on the train, it seemed like nobody saw them except for me. You know, a lot of people ask the question, what do you get for the girl who has everything? And my question is, what do you do for the girl who has nothing? And I thought about how going to college and getting an education had been so influential in my life, and I thought, that's what you get these girls, you get them an education. So I turned the blog into a book. All of the proceeds from the book are going into a college fund for these little girls. It's called the Invisible Girls Trust Fund.